Hello, this is James Redfield. Thank you for tuning in to this global meditation, our global prayer project. We are having a lot of fun with it, getting a lot of feedback from around the world. I think it's always something that all of us can do together to help the world, to move the world into a better place. That's why we're doing this. We're at a crucial time, in my view, in the world. We have a ongoing situation in health, in healthcare, and in leadership, and that's changing everything for a lot of people. People feel clamped down. People feel like their economic life has been taken from them. People feel like there's a hidden motive behind the campaign to keep us in fear. And we're rebelling at a lot of levels. Some people go into fear. Some people go into hate, blaming. We're going to go into consciousness, and that means moving into a kind of connected space that uplifts ourselves and uplifts everyone in the world. And we'll get to that in just a few minutes. I wanted to talk a lot about moving from meditation to a kind of opening of intuitive intelligence. We're all seeking in this kind of world a more inner security. And we know through all the research, discussion, experiential proofs of the human potential movement, that meditation is crucial to opening up all these experiences that we can have in this world. And that is really the thing that I want to remind people of the most. I hope that you will continue to remind your friends. If you like the Celestine Prophecy books, if you like this work, then it's important that we boost consciousness consciously. And I think that's what we're doing at this point. We're getting existential proof that there's something beyond the material in this world, that our real creative lives and the thing we sense is that depend on tuning in, and meditation is the way that has been proven to do that. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the process of meditation, personally and globally, the way we're doing it, and especially concerning how once we are practicing meditation, contemplation frequently, what happens is that we open up our intuitive intelligence. And that's not just ego, words going through our minds, decisions that we make. It's an intelligence that helps us in this world to have a greater life, a more creative life, and a sense of moving toward mission in this world. In a world where everybody's so clamped down, they're just worried about making money, having an income. We can point out that the most secure inwardly place is to let our intuition guide us. So let's talk first, though, about the meditative process, because there are a lot of people out there I know who are joining us who haven't really begun a true meditation process personally. So I just want to talk a little bit about the steps into this. The first step into a meditation practice has to be intention. In other words, we have to believe that it works. We might just get with friends and meditate. We may have fun doing that. But until we intend to have the real fruits of this meditation, we haven't opened up in the way that's possible. So, of course, beyond intention, though, is picking a time and a place where you can regularly shut your eyes and let go of the chatter in your mind. And we start there because that's where all the "you don't have time for this" statements come through your mind. It's that this doesn't work anyway, or all the fear thoughts that I don't have enough time for this. All that stuff that comes up just beginning can be released. So the process is, when this kind of chatter comes up, any kind of chatter really about what we should have said to people, how we aren't good at defending ourselves enough, all those things from the ego are going to pop into our heads. So just remember that it's a letting go process, but we have to come back to something. In other words, what we're coming back to when we let go is something that we can intend to begin to feel, and that is agape love. Now, everybody has a problem with love these days. It's too soft. The world's too hard. Love doesn't get you anywhere. The love die, the loving die first. All these things that the ego wants us to believe come up. So just remember that we have different emotions, but we have one master emotion. And that means a emotion that can sustain us. So if you're new, or if you're a meditator, just remember that there's a mantra, and we can use lots of different mantras in meditation, but the mantra that I believe is most calming and most strengthening is agape love. And agape love is it's a love without an object. You can remember love, but what we really want to do is have a kind of heart opening that opens up this agape love as our true spiritually connected emotion. So that's the first proof that that meditation works. We can open up to this peace that surpasses all understanding, and this comes from the human potential movement, and all the books and personal experiences that have been shared in that movement. But what we know is that we have a master emotion that is agape love, a state of love, and we can be in a state of love. We don't need an object to love. We've loved objects, we've loved people, we've loved things, we've loved our animals. But what we're talking about is just the experience of love, the feeling of that emotion all the time. Now, what happens there is that we begin, the more we concentrate on letting go of these thoughts and come back to just feeling this agape love, remembering our departed loved ones, anything that triggers love in yourself is okay. Because you just want, though, to just have no expectations of love beyond just having this emotion as a state. So you walk around spiritually connected in a state of agape love. Now, we also, though, know that we can let go not just of our mental chatter, but we can also let go of our emotional chatter. So what that really means is these problem emotions that we all have that pop up. They're connected with our security in the world, which is impossible to have other than a spiritually connected peace that surpasses all understanding. All right. So this will sound religious, but it's trans-religious in the sense that this process, this love, is the connection, is the spiritual connection. And once we're in that space, then when these other problem emotions come up, we have a tragedy in our lives. Some project fails or looks like it's failing. These problem emotions will come up, and for everyone, it's either anger, or it's anxiety, or it's the hurts we remember from what other people have done, we think. So we have to let go of these problem emotions, just like other chatter that come into our consciousness, and return to what? Agape love. The more we sit in that love, the more we practice connecting with our larger consciousness, which is the consciousness of the transcendent, of God, of the presence behind this world. It can be described in many ways, but the experience of this is, as I have described it, and anyone who practices long enough with this intention can find that it's our natural state. It's we're wired to pop into it. It's only that because materialism, the absence of spirituality and spiritual connection is so prominent that everybody doesn't pop into this. And of course, the more of us who pop into it, the more effect we have on the world. And that's another thing that should be said. Absolutely. There's more meditation, contemplation, tuning in out there in the world than ever before, even in the middle, and maybe because of this clampdown we feel is being imposed upon us. It's a moving into another kind of life, another kind of inspiration that can work no matter, or at least to the side of all the things we feel are happening to us because of other people, the government, medical establishment, and it's absolutely the key. Now, as I mentioned in the email about this session, it's very important to move into another experience while meditating. So we have this connected feeling, this agape love, but something else starts to come in. Instead of chatter, what comes into our consciousness is this sense of intuitive intelligence. Now, intuitions are different, of course, from the kinds of work thoughts that we do, trying to get something done and planning with our minds. That's a perfectly okay use of our minds. But what I'm talking about is a thought or a knowingness that comes into the back of our minds at certain times. We get these intuitions to do something. It has an inspiration energy with it. That's how you know it's an intuition, and it's in the service of good, right? It's in the service of moving the positive into the world and helping in a helping fashion. but it's always directive in the sense that we get a sense of doing something. I mentioned last time that, my latest intuitive experience was, and I'll say it again for the crowd, this is a different crowd in a lot of ways, that happened when I was working on a new book. Hopefully will be released in this year, 21 November. So, but I was working really hard, really deep into it. Well, all of a sudden I got this feeling that there was something wrong. And I had people visiting. There's a cabin that's next door. And so I thought maybe, well, they left something on the stove or something was wrong. Anyway, it started nagging at me, and I just got up and went over there. And when I arrived, I saw my dog, Jack, was trying to swim from the bank near the house over to the cabin, but he wasn't going anywhere. And it turned out that a limb under the water went up into his collar. So he couldn't get back, couldn't turn around, and he was starting to go under when I got there. Well, we got him out. He was fine. But later on, I just went, wow, he would have died soon had I not got up and responded to this gut feeling, in the sense that something's not quite right. So these are premonitions, and they're intuitions that arrive in our minds. But what we have to understand, I believe, and get the word out about, is that these things can happen all the time to help direct our lives in a way that protects us, protects others, but also allows the journey that we want to be on in this connected state, meditating frequently. What happens is you start to get intuitions about what you really want to do in life. Now, this is in a world where so many things are shut down that it's hard to envision getting anything done. So but we're moving into a kind of consciousness where we get help. And what happens is that we get intuitions to do something. And what we get is a clarity about who we are and what we want to do in life. A mysterious coincidence, that synchronicity happens. And we can't remind each other, too much that this is the life that we were promised. We have been promised. All the literature about spirituality points out that this is the life that's promised. It's intuitive guidance. It's help. And if we all get metaphysically helped, in life by mysterious coincidences that open up a door, answer a question, solve a problem. If that's true, those happen. And I can tell you, more and more people believe that that's available than ever before. It means that we get metaphysical help in life. And if we get metaphysical help in life, we're living in a spiritual world. And everything we hear out there from corporate news is all about, oh, let us take care of you because the world's too insecure. We'll tell you what to do. When just the opposite is what the world is designed for. So we have a controlling group, and I'm not going to name names. If you've looked into it, who they are, who want more and more power, more and more control over the economy. And they come from a place where they're very needy, but they don't come to a spiritual solution from that need. What they go to is feeling secure because of money, more money, and more power over others. That's an energy. It's stolen, but it's an energy. And so that if you want to call that the dark side, that's the dark side that's operating out there in the world and always have. So the solution then is not, let's fight against them. Let's have a war of thoughts. Let's have a harsh debate. None of that works, because anything you hate gets larger. As I've said many times, it's the Star Wars mythology. It's real. Anything you hate gets larger. Stay out of it. Stay in this love connection. And don't forget, when you're meditating and you're feeling better and you feel connected, and there's this yummy agape love that strengthens us. In fact, it's the strongest emotion you can have. All the lower emotions bounce off of that if you're sustaining it. Remember that there's an intuition, a guidance that comes with that opens up for you to have a better life, for you to have solutions to your problem, for you to find your dream, even in a shut down world. So that's the message. Again, our great purpose here is to move consciousness into the world without being controlling. It's a kind of sharing. Consciousness is contagious. Once you realize that, then you can move into a group of people, into a room, into a situation, with your energy source that comes with spiritual connection, being able to touch people and lift them up. And the same thing happens in group meditation. We send that field of energy on a sharing basis, uplifting people so that they can find their own freedom, their own spiritual connection. Consciousness lifted up always connects us with a spiritual consciousness that is waiting for us to move into. So again, thank you for participating in this. I want to go right into it now. We're going to uplift the world toward an understanding of what I would like to call natural health. And this is not the trendy kind of eat this or eat that, so much as it's a attitude that we can use our intuition to see if there's something we need that we're not getting at the physical level, such as food or supplements or that kind of thing. But what we're uplifting right now is that people move into this understanding that the medical establishment has different motives. And so much of it is strictly financial. And what is lost is the real ways that we can individually, far less cost, that we can find to improve our health, our being in the world, our energy level, all that goes with it. So what we'll do is we'll just go into the meditation, get connected, and then we'll send that energy out into the world. So if you'll just spend just a moment taking some deep breaths. Let's just feel this connection with agape love within our hearts. Let's just dwell on that part of our body right in our solar plexus. Let's just feel that connection of agape love, the emotion of love, our master emotion. Let's just feel it. Any of that chatter, mental chatter comes in, just let it go. Come back to the feeling. If we feel a problem emotion, just let that go. Give yourself time to get connected. Let's set a firm intention now that that's what's going to happen. We're going to be connected in this agape love, this heart-opened emotion. And with that, we're going to fill ourselves to overflowing with this energy and then let it spill into the world. But let's fill up. Feel yourself filled with this emotion. Feel the strength of it. Feel the security of it. Feel the peace that surpasses all understanding. Know that this is your birthright. This is the way the world is really designed. Now let's just, wherever we are in the world, let's just allow this energy to flow out of us, to fill us completely and flow out of us into the homes and the businesses all around us. Let's just see that flowing out and all the people it touches. Let's visualize that they're uplifted into this spiritual connection just for a moment. They can feel for themselves the true emotional state that is ours on this planet. And let's just, if they have any disturbance around the medical care that they're seeing, comes from mainly corporate entities now. Corporate kind of science, a corporate kind of medical teaching. Let's just see them lifting up to know that there's another system of healthcare under the broad umbrella of natural health. And let's just see them understanding that there is another way to stay healthy by focusing on the true nutrients that each of us needs from this world. And let's just let them tune in for themselves, commit to the research that it takes to find those diets and supplements and mental attitudes. Also the blitz of meditative practice that allows our bodies to be healthy beyond other kinds of corporate measures. Let's just feel that now sweeping out even further. This sort of awareness, this love-based discovery that there's a whole world of knowledge concerning keeping ourselves healthy. Let's see it moving into our county or our province, touching everyone and expanding even into the whole of our nation. Then let's see it flowing all the way around the world, across the oceans and around the world. Let's just feel that energy coming through us, spilling over, touching everyone, lifting them into their own spiritual connection. And into the awareness of ways of health that can be individualized. And the energy of inspiration they can find for their own lives. All the way around the world. Now let's take it to the universe. Take it to our galaxy, our solar system, then our galaxy. And then all the way into the expansion of space in this dimension. It's overflowing with the energy of truth, finding the truth amid the distortions, centering our lives in this truth of spiritual connection and all that goes with that, recovering the truth of our world, recovering the truth of our countries, recovering the economy of our countries, recovering the excitement of free creation in an economy, free discovery and flow of synchronicity into our missions of how to help the world be more free. And more connected with the divine behind this world of ours. Let's hold it for just a few more moments. Everywhere in the world, vibrating with those just waking up, just in the beginning of their individualized synchronistic journey. Let's just see it all happening. And now let's just set it as an energy that reverberate around the world and around the universe, lifting all of us into this spiritual connection, if only for a moment, a glimpse that will return later as people develop their journey. Let's hold that. It's happening. It's set. One more moment. Hard as you can. Okay. So let's open our eyes. come back to present locale. That was very powerful. And, this reverberates as people tune into it on all the other social media. They find it at the right time for them. Send it out everywhere. All your friends, anybody who loves Celestine, who loves spiritual connection, who knows that is our true state of being on the planet, that our energy can go up and up and stand as a kind of refuge for the controlling side out there in the world who think they need power and large money to find their security when it's free. We're a beacon. We can't fight. We should just stand as an alternative, and people will come into this light because we're wired for it. And it's a lot better than being in all the lower emotions out there. And also, don't forget to listen for your intuitive guidance. Remember, it's there for you. It springs from the divine wisdom out there, the rest of your mind. And they will start coming in. Just notice your gut feelings, the thoughts that drop into your head. A good practice is to say, why did I think that now? Was it for it might be to call an old friend, it might be just to explore some particular thing. It's the way we find our steps along our path of development until the mission really comes fully into vision. And that's when it really becomes fun. So remember, this is the way life is supposed to be lived on the planet. We have to hold that image and share it. So thank you for doing that. And I would just say, we're going to keep doing these discussions and the meditation. I believe that there's, again, more of an appetite for consciousness than ever before. And some of it is because we feel clamped down. Our creative flow has been slowed, and other alternatives are being presented that we have to follow. Break out of that, because there's always a spiritual side in your world. Your timeline is for free creative flow of your inner dream. So always know that. And until next time, we will talk to you later.